This is a CBS News Special Report. I'm Norah O'Donnell in the nation's capital, and we have breaking news in the high-stakes runoffs in Georgia, the races that will decide which party controls the U.S. Senate. There has been record turnout. The Secretary of State says nearly 4.6 million voters, including 1 million on Election Day, and that's why the races tonight are so close. At this hour, CBS News can characterize that the race between Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffler is leaning Democrat. If Reverend Warnock holds on, he will become Georgia's first black senator. Now, the other race is a toss-up at this hour. The Democrat documentary filmmaker John Ossoff and Republican incumbent and former businessman David Perdue are neck and neck. The Democrats need to win both runoffs to make the breakdown in the Senate 50-50. That would put Vice President-elect Kamala Harris as the tie-breaking vote. We want to bring in CBS News senior national correspondent Mark Strassmann. He is in Atlanta tonight. And Mark, what's the latest there?
Dramatic change here, Norah. Both Republican leads have evaporated with about 98% of Georgia's statewide vote totals now in. Everyone's been waiting for Metro Atlanta, which leans Democrat, to report their totals. They now are. And as you mentioned, Raphael Warnock now has a solid 35,000 vote lead, and only about 1,000 votes now separate Republican David Perdue from Democrat John Ossoff. So close. Georgia's Secretary of State says it'll probably be tomorrow before he can declare both winners. Norah?
All right, Mark Strassmann there. Let's bring in CBS News Chief Congressional Correspondent Nancy Cordes, who joins us from the U.S. Capitol. And Nancy, we mentioned so much at stake here. What would control of the Senate mean for Joe Biden?
Well, Norah, it wouldn't guarantee that he was able to enact all of his agenda, but it would at least assure that he would get a vote on those bills. And because Democrats would control the Senate calendar, confirmation of his major judicial and cabinet nominees would move much faster. He'd even have more freedom to nominate who he wants, knowing that Republicans can't slow walk the confirmations of individuals who they don't like. So that's why these two races are so pivotal for both parties.
All right, so much news. All right, Nancy Cordes, thank you. And our coverage of the Georgia runoff elections continues on our 24-hour streaming network, CBSN. There will be more on your local news on this CBS station and tomorrow on CBS This Morning and the CBS Evening News. This has been a CBS News Special Report. I'm Norah O'Donnell, CBS News, Washington.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com.